Woke up this morning with my mind set on union. Woke up this morning with my mind set on union. I woke up this morning with my mind set on unions. Unions now, unions now, unions now. All right, y'all. Let me hear everybody come in with me with that one time. Woke up this morning with my mind set on unions. Woke up this morning with my mind set on unions. I woke up this morning with my mind set on unions. Unions now, unions now, unions now. That's what we need. That's what we need. 15 and a union. That's why we're out here today. We're fighting for health care. For y'all to get to what you need. Without better health care, we would not be worth nothing. I'm getting old. I might need some of y'all to come take care of me. Are you ready? All right, welcome to our town hall about the future of care work. Today, care workers from across North Carolina are demanding better. Thank you for being here to hear directly from care workers on the front lines. It is great to have several elected officials here to listen and respond. We thank you. Thank you. That's right. My name is Mama Cookie. I'm a fast food worker and a longtime member of North Carolina Raised Up and Fight for 15 and a union. But not everyone knows I used to be a CNA for many, many years. I was a home care worker and also worked inside a nursing home. The job is a big toll on your body. It really takes a toll. You get wear and tear injuries, but you don't get health care benefits. Also, I experienced a lot of disrespect. Sometimes I was in a home to take care of an elderly family member, but the rest of the family expected me to be their maid as well. They expected me to do the housework not only for their family member, but for them also. I wasn't getting paid to do that. Working in the nursing home, I was caring for 15 to 20 patients by myself. I was stretched too thin. I couldn't give each patient the time that they needed. When you got that many patients and that patient needs extra care, you can't give it to them because you got a time level. You got 8 hours to get to the next patient. And that makes you feel bad because that patient crying out to you and you can't help that patient. Because a lot of us get involved in our patient care and it hurts. I got tired of watching people die. I worked a lot on the hospice unit. And it's hard to sit there when you got to turn your back and close the door and let someone lay there and die when they're begging you to hold their hand, and you can't do that. That's not even just talking about with the pandemic we got going on. This is before the pandemic, when I've had to walk away from many people and just shut the door because I couldn't do anything else for them to make them feel better. That's the worst thing in the world. A lot of people have left this field because the working conditions are so bad. I'm one of them. And I didn't want to leave, but I couldn't do it anymore. But I have tremendous respect for all of the care workers who stick it out because they give their all every day. Let me see the care workers stand and give themselves applause. Stand care workers. That's what I want, these care workers. They're the ones that I'm standing up on this podium fighting for today. They are why I'm out here fighting today, because they deserve better. Yes. Ever since I left CNA career and went into fast food, I have seen so much overlap between the two jobs. A lot of care workers have to get a second job at a fast food restaurant just to make ends meet. And that ain't right. That is not right. I mean, you work all day lugging patients, then you got to come to a fast food restaurant and still take the abuse from people. from your bosses when I say people. These CEOs don't care. Nobody cares if we don't care. If we don't fight, we ain't gonna win. As a society, we don't value care workers like we should. CNAs and home health care workers are often looked down upon. But the truth is, they are the ones that make these facilities work. Without them, these facilities would not work. Care work makes all work possible. CNAs, housekeeping, kitchen, dietary, those are the ones that's on these lines that make these nursing homes work. These are the ones that we have to learn how to cook a meal if we go in somebody's home private to see how they have to eat. Without care workers taking care of the elderly and disabled people who need help, the patients, look, they trying to outdo me, but my mouth bigger than that siren. Without care workers taking care of the elderly and disabled people who need help, the patients' families wouldn't be able to go to work and do their jobs. A lot of families have to put their families in nursing facilities because we don't have enough home care nurses to go into people's homes. That's sad because they don't want to pay us. They want to pay them $7, $8 an hour. I found out today that the state is the cause of them only getting paid $8, $9 an hour. And that is sad. That is really sad. Care workers provide essential service that keeps our economy running. Here in North Carolina, it's time for us to listen to care workers and make some big changes. Starting with the demand that care workers put in this Dignity in Healthcare petition. I'm actually going to sign this petition right now. Okay, let's have okay, I'm going to sign my name. All right now. Okay, let me have my first speaker, which is Miss Sandra Brown from Asheville.
Hey, is this too loud? Okay, so my name is Sandra Brown. I live in Asheville, North Carolina. I'm a Western North Carolina native. I'm a proud member of North Carolina Raise Up in the nationwide fight for 15 and the union movement.
All right.
I'm currently one of the in-home care workers she was referring to. I've been a CNA on and off for the past 28 years. Currently, I make $10 an hour as a home care worker. Even though CNA work and care work is the right job for me, I began my healthcare career in a nursing home in Hendersonville, North Carolina, but I've worked in a myriad of healthcare settings, from labor and delivery, pediatrics. I've worked in doctor's offices, inpatient behavioral health, the emergency department, and like I said, I currently do in-home care. As many times as I've helped bring life into this world, I've also been present when they've left. I've held their hands, wiped their tears. I've given them their final baths, so they never were, nor did they ever feel alone. I'm very proud of the care I give my patients.
All right.
Despite all my years and the myriad of experience, I only earned $10 an hour with a home care agency that receives Medicare and Medicaid reimbursements. $10 an hour is not a living wage, definitely not in Nashville. It's not enough to survive on as an individual, and it's definitely not enough to raise my children on by myself because my husband died last year. Speaking of, he was also a care worker. He specialized in working with pediatric behavioral health patients at Mission Hospital in North Carolina. Sorry.
Take your time.
Some legislators that are here today may have gotten letters from me because I began making formal complaints about the care I witnessed him get, beginning with a personal letter to Josh Stein from the North Carolina DHHS. I digress. Even if I worked full-time with this particular home health agency, I will never have health insurance. I will never have paid time off. I have no job security with this home health agency. It's not just my employer either. Statistics show that care workers are far more likely to live in or near poverty all across the country, not just in southern states like North Carolina. These types of low wages without any kind of benefits are a major barrier to recruiting and retaining skilled workers, especially in home health. It leads to understaffing. It leads to unsafe care environments. It leads to care worker burnout, what's also known in the business as compassion fatigue. It also leads to patients being neglected. This is going to be a little hard, but it leads to patients like my husband, whose only request upon what would be his last admission into a hospital was to take a shower. But he went for more than a week without one until he died. Every shift I'd ask if a shower chair came, but I was given a different excuse every single time. He was 42 years old, and all he wanted was a shower. Again, I digress. The company I currently work for knew I would be out of work for about a month for a major surgery. When my patient and I called to check in about coverage for my patient while I would be out, I was told, and I quote, "We have clients that go without care all the time in that area." You don't have clients then. There is a real serious issue of shortage in home care workers in the U.S. In less than 8 years, our country is going to need even more workers as our population naturally grows older. Nationwide, we will need to fill 4 million home care jobs by 2028. It's less than 10 years away. You may, or you should be asking your constituents, why is there a shortage of home care workers? It's simple. They pay poverty wages. We don't get benefits like health insurance or paid time off. They don't give us a chance to unionize with our peers. They are not sustainable jobs. This is a serious threat not only to our patients, but to our communities as a whole, to our neighbors, to our parents, to your parents. That's why we need Congress to pass the American Jobs Plan and invest the $400 billion of investment into home care jobs. The American Jobs Plan guarantees that these care jobs will be good jobs with real living wages, paid sick days, and the opportunity to form unions. It's crucial. As you see, we've been coming together with other care workers across the state to demand these important legislative changes. And as you can see from our petition, care workers and even our patients know what we need. It's time for elected officials and our employers to listen to us and the patients we care for, because we all have their best interests in every single thing we do as their caregiver. I'm going to go ahead and sign too, and I encourage everyone, once everyone speaks, to also sign. This is really important. We're committed to organizing and speaking up, and we're not going to stop until all care workers get the power and the respect in our jobs that we deserve, because in turn, it's the care of the patients that is most important. Thank you.
All right, all right. All right. Thank you. All right, I have my next speaker is Katina Turner from Raleigh.
I got a cheer for myself. How's everyone this afternoon? Thank everyone for being here. Please bear with me. I need my glasses. So again, my name is Katina Turner, originally from Michigan. So I've been here 14 years. So now, hey, I'm a North Carolina resident. All right. So I'm here on the behalf of all care workers, and also on behalf of my ancestors who were care workers. Today I want to speak about the long overdue need for systemic change in healthcare in America overall. We need that change. So today I hope that we not only listen or hear with our ears, but we listen. Thank you. That we listen to what everyone speaks about today. I began my journey working as a nursing assistant back in 2018 when I made the decision to go back to school to further my education and to get a nursing degree. So, making that decision, I decided, well, I already have my CNA certification, so I might as well go work in the field. Once I started working in that field, that allowed me to see with my own eyes how systemic and racially biased practices still exist today in home health and CNA work. I was able to see how just women of color are disproportionately represented in where we work and the type of work that we do as CNA workers. And in my opinion, this has to change because women of color are the ones that are doing the back-breaking work, the laboring work, and we are getting paid pennies on a dollar. Our ancestors were forced to do this type of work. They were the caregivers. They were the ones taking care of your families. They were the ones providing that essential care. And they went unpaid. And today CNA work is pretty much damn close to it. You almost might as well be working for free because the wages are poverty wages. And in my opinion, something has to be done. And so I'm doing my part in hopes that I can make a difference. Again, care workers are so undervalued and underpaid across the board. However, we already know that structural racism plays a major part in it. And it's going to take us to make a concerted effort to make a change and put our dollars and policies where our mouth is. We already know there's a historical component to this. We've already talked about forced slavery. But Black women are caregivers. And we will continue to be caregivers because we love taking care of people. Today, CNAs are predominantly Black women and other women of color, as I stated before. When you look at the numbers when it comes to pay across the board for nurses, CNAs, home health workers, for doctors, the pay for doctors and nurses has increased drastically. The numbers have just risen. There was a time after the Civil War, World War II, where there was a shortage of nurses as well because the pay was low. So they didn't want to do the work. There's a shortage of CNAs today because the pay is low. And we don't want to do the work, but we do it because we love to do the work. We help people. So that pay is so stagnant. It has to change, guys. We need equitable pay. And we also know, apologies. And we also know that systemic racism is already baked into the culture of our care system. I made the decision to wear my natural twist out today. You know, I didn't take it out, so I hope you guys like it. Because I wanted to represent myself and be true to my heritage and who I am. Due to the fact that racial bias shows up in the workplace. I had a person who hired me as a CNA when my hair was up in a nice bun You know, I kind of, apparently, I made it comfortable for them. I looked like I could assimilate into the culture. But when I came to work one day with my hair twisted out, I got a comment. A comment was made from this very person who hired me that the company that we were contracting with did not like the way that I or other women of color that were working in that place wore their hair. They were complaining about our braids and our twist out. And I knew right then and there that was a lie, because this company hired individuals directly. So I worked for a contracted agency, so she hired me directly. So these are just some of the racial biases that we deal with that impacts the type of jobs that we get. In 1935, the National Labor Relations Act was passed. It excluded many domestic workers and farm workers from being able to reap the benefits of retirement, of pensions, and being able to have the protections that many white Americans had. So we can take a look today and look at the effects of that right now when it comes to our aging community. We didn't have the protections. We didn't have the retirements. We didn't have the pensions. So it kind of hurts my heart when I see a 65-year-old nursing assistant having to continue to work and care for someone that is her age, or if not younger. What is wrong with the system? The system is broken. This woman should be retiring and not having to care for someone that is her age, not having to care for someone that may be her same height or weight, because like I said before, this work is back-breaking and laboring. So when does she get a chance to retire? Oh, there are no retirement plans in place because of those laws that were put in place to exclude certain demographic of people. As I said before, to me, in my opinion, it's like CNAs are like the modern day health. How can we get individuals to work almost close to free without having to enslave them? We'll just give them little to nothing, because it's how we're looked at, in my opinion. So we have to change with fair and equitable policies. We have to put fair and equitable policies in place. And not just policies, but we need to also practice those policies. So it's not just okay to have them on paper as policy. We have to practice. We are truly in need of major change in the way we value care work in this country, because it is definitely connected to the way we value people. We need to earn at least a minimum of $15 an hour. And that's just base pay. That's just base. With some care workers needing to earn much more than that based on the years of experience. You have care workers working 20-something years, 30 years. I've heard someone tell me they have been working 30 years in healthcare. And to work 30 years in healthcare and your base is still at $10 to $12 an hour? Tell me, how many years have you worked so far? And how long you would stick around if your pay was stagnant and did not increase? We also need equitable pipelines to help us move up and combat the inequity in the healthcare system. There's a pipeline in healthcare that allows people to move up the chain of education. And we need to look at CNAs as a part of the team and not just a part of the help to create those pipelines. We also need a voice on the job and strong unions to determine our working conditions. Some of us are scared to speak up and speak out because they don't feel that they have the protections needed in place to secure a job. And honestly, we don't. Sometimes you just have to not be job scared. So I'm standing in for the CNAs and my teammates that can't speak up and speak out. I'm going to speak up and speak out for them. As I said before, we are the backbone of healthcare, and women of color have always been at the forefront. If we decide not to come to work, who will take care of your mothers, your grandmothers, your fathers, your grandfathers? Everything would come to a standstill. Everyone should think about someone that has someone they love that has a caregiver. What if that caregiver did not come to work to take care of your loved one? Where would that put us? It is time society treats care work with dignity. Just simple as that, with dignity and respect. The respect that we all need, the respect that we all want. Because what if you yourself was a care worker? So just walk in the shoes of a care worker. And let's make change together. Thank you. And I'm going to also sign this petition.
Is that powerful? What, y'all? Y'all heard what she said, didn't you? All right. Thank you so much, Ms. Turner. Now we have Devonna Howard from Burgos, North Carolina.
Thank you. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. I just want to say my name is Devonna Howard. I'm from North Carolina. I have been a home health care worker for 3.5 years. I am a wife and a mother of 3. I enjoy what I do. I love taking care of people. I love looking after people. I come from a really big family. We believe in paying it forward. We have our family that supports us, and these people need our support. I do what I do because I love what I do. And I want you guys to understand, I work every day, Monday through Friday, from 2 p.m. to 9 a.m. I don't see my kids. I don't see my husband. I take care of patients that don't have family. They don't have grandchildren. They don't have people that come and can sit with them. I do this because I know what it is. I know what it's like to be alone. You understand? People need this. At the end of the day, we are all here fighting for the same thing. We are all here to support these people. I love the fact that we can all come together today and understand we're unionizing under one thing, to understand that we need better benefits. We need care, the same care that we provide for our clients, whether we're in a hospital, a nursing home, or private care. We want that same pay. We want that same respect. We want that same dignified feeling when we leave this job and know, yeah, they care about us too. They're willing to give us $15 an hour, just a minimum. And as I'd like to piggyback off the last young lady that was standing up here, you have people in this industry that have been doing this 25, 30 years and don't make anything. They're not looking at double-digit numbers an hour. I make $8.50 an hour, working from 2 p.m. to 9 a.m. Monday through Friday. I have bills to pay. I have children to take care of. My daughter just graduated high school and is going to college. And who has to foot that bill? Mom and dad. And I need a job that's going to help me support my children. This is the field that I love to work in. This is what I love to do. So I'm asking all of our legislators today to support us in this American job plan. This $400 billion plan is not just because we want the money. It's because we deserve this money. It's because we work to the bone every day. We are overworked. We are underpaid. We are exhausted. We don't get vacation days. We don't get paid sick days. Some days you go in and you decide, do I have money for lunch or money for gas? But guess what? You suck it up and you don't eat, and you go out here and you fight for these people and you work for them and you make sure they're well taken care of. It's okay if I don't have it today. I know that when I leave my patients, they have a smile on their face because I did what they needed me to do for them. I provide a better care of living for them because we all have to accept the fact we're going to get to where they're at. We're all going to hit 50, 60, 70, 80, 90 years old. And we need someone to do that for us. We need someone that's willing to say, don't worry about it. I'll cook that for you. Don't worry about it. I'll take you to this doctor's appointment. Don't worry about it. I'll make sure you're here. That's what we need. And we're asking to be looked at the same way they look at doctors, the same way they look at nurses. We want the same benefits. We want people to understand we are the thread that holds this together. Without us, they can't do their jobs. They need us. So we want to feel that we're worth being invested in because we know we are. We just want legislators in the country to take the time and realize how much we invest ourselves. We give all of ourselves, not some of it, all of it. Even if it's sacrificing. And I sacrifice a lot. I have my children, my 2 youngest ones, one just started high school and my second youngest is in the 7th grade. To get up every day and only see them in the mornings, it's a sacrifice I'm willing to take. Because I know when I'm with my patient, if I'm not there, God forbid, she may fall. She might not be able to call the hospital or 911 because she's hurt. And these are the things that we're there for. We're there to be the shoulder to lean on. We're there to make sure if they have no one, they have us. So all we're asking for is to get that respect, to get this money. We need this. We don't want it. We need it. It's a necessity. We want to be able to get by and not have to get our paychecks and say, you know what? I just paid my mortgage. I did my grocery shopping and gas. That's all I have. We want to be able to have money put aside. I want to go on vacation. I want to take my children out. I can't do that on $8.50 an hour. I can't do that when I know at the end of the week and at the end of the month, when I round all my bills up, I barely have money to pay for football or basketball or cheerleading. I can't do these things, but I still love my job and I love what I do, and I'm not going to stop. I'm going to continue to do what I do, and I'm going to ask as much as I can that the country and legislation fight for us. We need this act. We need this plan. This $4 billion is imperative. This is a priority for the healthcare industry of itself to supply us with better jobs, to supply us with better means. We need that. The same way you can look at a surgeon and they get all this money and these benefits, we want it too. We deserve it. We put in just as many hours. We work just as hard. So at the end of the day, I am reaching out on behalf of myself, my family, and my healthcare family, that you guys please, please look into this and understand this is what we need to make this a better country. If you want this country better, provide better health care benefits. Allow us to be just as independent and earn and make just as much as they do, because we work just as hard. We are the thread. We are the backbone of healthcare. Even if they don't look at it, this is a totem pole. At the end of the day, this is not about race. This is not about gender, and this is not about sex. This is a totem pole thing. Healthcare providers are at the bottom of this totem pole. We are the footstool. Everyone else sits at the top. Superior. We want to be superior too. We want to know that you guys appreciate and value our work just as much as we do. So with that being said, I reach out today again to our legislators across this country. Please help us pass this American plan, this American job plan. We need it. We need it. Just like we need air to breathe and water, we need this. This is a necessity. We want to get by and we want to survive, but we can't do our job without your help as well. Thank you guys, and I really appreciate it. Support us.
Boy, what's something to come behind right there. That's some powerful stuff. If y'all didn't hear that, you ain't heard nothing. You weren't listening. You didn't care. Because these ladies meant what they said. It's essential that we get this $15 an hour. I mean, for all workers. Healthcare, if you love your mama and your daddies, legislative people, help these ladies. Help us. Help us make $15 an hour. Don't let us come into your home and take care of your mama for $8. That's not fair. You don't make $8. That's right. I would challenge. I want to do this. I would challenge every legislator or commissioner or whoever. Take one of their paychecks and tell me if you can live off of it. Can you live off of their paycheck for 1 week? Excuse my language, but hell no. That's right. You can't. You wouldn't even consider it. Y'all wouldn't even consider giving one of them your paychecks just for them to live, just to make them pay. You wouldn't even consider doing it. Let me hush. Well, our first speakers, I'll tell you, I ain't even got to go behind them. They said what they said and they meant what they meant. So our first question for our elected officials: do you support raising the minimum wage for all workers, including care workers, for at least $15 an hour? If your answer is yes, please stand. Yes. Yes. Oh, yes. Yes. And the second question: will you be an advocate for the American Jobs Plan, which includes a $400 billion investment in home care jobs that will be required to pay $15 an hour? If you agree, continue standing. Thank you for making your position clear. I appreciate that. We appreciate that. We appreciate that. I would like to give one of our elected officials a chance to speak to the issues of 15 minimum wage American Jobs Plan. All right, come here. Please keep your remarks short. Yes, ma'am, I need you up here because I'm hoping you'll sign my board.
No, please come up.
No, we need you up here.
Well, good afternoon. I'm Cynthia Ball. I represent parts of Raleigh and Wake County in the North Carolina House, and I'm honored to be here with you. I want to tell you a personal story that underscores the needs that you have described. My first cousin is severely disabled from a traumatic brain injury of many years ago. He has home health care workers that are supposed to be there for him 40 hours a week. His mother, my aunt, was recently diagnosed with COPD, has been hospitalized a couple of times. So you get the situation in that home. Already, they have to make do in the evenings and the weekends. And that's provided that this home health care worker gets there. What has happened in recent months is this organization is unable to find healthcare workers. You've heard this.
Yes.
So they are without. Who was it made the comment? Was it, who was it made the comment? Oh yes, you made the comment that, they go without all the time. Well,